Hi, you know who I am because you've seen this face several times over the past year. And first I want to apologize for the procrastination of getting this CD or DVD, excuse me, out to you. I also want to thank you for the generous donations that every one of you have sent, and be it monetarily or through prayer. Both things have made a great impression on my family, my new family in Cameroon. Sister Natalia, who is the matron of the orphanage, and also Sister Severia, who is the matron of the hospital, also extend their gratefulness for the wonderful donations that were sent. I want to start off just telling you one brief story about Julius, who is a young man that I met last year when I was there, who had juvenile diabetes, and this child was literally in a bed with a tent over him to keep from infections setting in on his legs that were totally just, skin was worn off of them from the illness itself. But he was in great need of a wheelchair. So off we went one day, Dr. Jim and Terry and I, and we had to get the tire fixed on the car first because of the roads that we were going to be traveling on. And while we were at the garage getting the tire fixed, all of a sudden these two young boys wheel out two, not one, two wheelchairs and open them up. And I looked at Jim and I looked at Terry and I said, "What do you think this is all about?" And we went over, and here the wheelchairs were for sale. And we had no idea, none whatsoever, that it was going to be, you know, that this was going to happen so quickly. Well, long story short, the wheelchairs were purchased after a little bit of bargaining. Sister Natalia had sent me an email because I had asked her what she needed, if anything, for me to bring with me for immediate use. And the precious thing emailed me back and said that they had no formula left for the infants. So some of the money, as you can see in the picture, some of the money went to have enough formula. We bought it, we had to buy it while we were there, of course, because of the expense of taking it with me. But we bought enough formula to last until I get back there in February. A huge problem that a lot of the patients that come up to the hospital is that they do not have money coming from the village. They don't have enough money to actually pay for their not only their services, but when it's time to leave, to pay for their stay. And yet another executive decision was that there were two people in particular, that one woman named Miranda, who you'll be looking at pictures of momentarily, that she was there for 3 weeks and could not afford to leave. And for a 2-week stay at the hospital, it cost $250. So with the generosity of all of you, I gave that money so Miranda could go home. The main contribution was for the tin roof that was built on top of the TB building that was constructed while I was not there. And by the time I left, the tin roof was, the beams for the tin roof were put on, and they were just starting to lay them down. The tin roof cost $6,000, and it was enough to complete the entire roof and also to put shutters onto the windows around the building. It's so important that we all understand what it means to be a community. It truly does take a village in order to have something accomplished in such a huge scale as this was. And it was wonderful that yet another village who worked together to make things to work for them the best that they could were able to receive this with open arms. And I just want to thank you once again for the love, your kindness, your thoughtfulness, your prayerfulness, and the monies that were used to make this all happen. And I look forward to going back next year for 2 months as opposed to just 1 month, because I'm getting spoiled. I'm just growing to love it so very, very much that I don't think 1 month will be enough. So once again, thank you for allowing it to happen.